You are welcome to Nelstar Tutorial. Today we are going to have the first lecture under this subject called chemistry. Chemistry, Chem, O level. Now we are going to look at this subject called chemistry, and we are going to take it up from the origin, from the beginning. So even if you are somebody that doesn't have any knowledge about chemistry before, subscribe to my channel. You will get to know all you want to know about chemistry, physics, mathematics, and all these other subjects and courses listed here. Now, what is chemistry? What is the origin of chemistry? How did we go about this subject called chemistry? God started classification or grouping of things. When we came to this world, we find out that God brought two things classification to this world. In terms of human beings, we have male and female. God also gave us living things. And non-living things. These are two classifications given to us by God. And remember that whenever there's any classification, there must be a basis for that grouping or basis for that classification. Male and female, there's difference between male reproductive organ and female reproductive organ. That qualifies this. The living things are non-living things. God gave us living things and also gave us non-living things. And in the course of studying our environment, human beings try to know more about where he lives and study things around him. Human beings discovered that these living things and non-living things, that anything that satisfies this quality, Mr. Niger D, is a living thing. And anyone that doesn't satisfy this Mr. Niger D is a non-living thing. Mr. M stands for movement, R stands for production, N stands for nutrition, I stands for irritability, G stands for growth, E stands for excretion, R stands for respiration, D stands for death. Every living thing satisfies this quality. And anything that doesn't satisfy this quality is called a non-living thing. Hence, the universe divided into living things and non-living things. This is a classification given to us by God. The man went ahead to follow the way of God, Almighty God, to classify the world or the universe into two other things like this: solid, liquid, gaseous. B, metal, and non-metal. Note, wherever there is classification or grouping, there must be a basis. The basis for this one is this: when we hear about liquid, your mind should go to something like water. When you hear about solid, your mind should go to something like rock. Something like if and holes, all these are solid. When you hear about gases, your mind should go to something like air. You can feel. That's the basis of the classification. Then when we talk about another classification made by man, metals or non-metals, if you take any object and go and keep it in the sun, keep this in the sun, keep a metal in the sun and leave it for some time, come back after some time and touch it, you will find out that the metal has not become hot, while the non-metal is still where how it is, or just a very little how it is. So this is the basis for classification of metal and non-metal. This classification is man-made, while this is by nature. Hence, the universe is divided into two: living things and non-living things. The study of living things is called biological sciences, or simply biology. Now, this biology again, study of living things, is further divided into two: by nature, plants and animals. The study of plants is called botany, while the study of animals is called zoology. Then this other way, non-living things, which did not satisfy this quality, Mr. Niger D. The study of non-living things is called physical sciences. And physical sciences is divided into two: chemistry and what? Physics. What is now the work of chemistry? Chemistry looks at matter. I will explain matter. Whether the matter is in solid form, liquid form, or gaseous form, or form of gas. What chemistry is all about? The composition. What is it that makes up matter? I will come to explain better. Why physics is concerned with what? The same matter, but principally in a different way. Is looking for what is it the energy that is stored inside matter. That's what physics is all about. It's just like you are working in a particular place. Maybe you are working in Washington, and your company, when you are working in Washington, transfer you to another town in the United States called Dallas. The instruction is what? Carry only your briefcase. Go to the company and start work. You will see a house that is fully furnished. Enter into that flat. Enter that flat is your home. Everything was already there. As a human being, once you enter into a new flat that is given to you, the first thing you are supposed to do is go around the flat. What are things that are cooking items? You group them together, take them to the kitchen. What are the things that are for laundry? You group them together and take them how they should be. What are items that are meant for entertainment? DVD, television, VCD, and all whatnot. You take them and keep them to where they are supposed to be. So that's exactly how we find ourselves into this world. To meet a world that is already furnished with things of different types. So man is not wrong by trying to understand the environment. Isolate those ones. Find out those the ones that are poisonous and the ones that are not poisonous. The one that serves one purpose or the other. The one that does serve one purpose. Hence, mankind followed the way of Almighty God by doing his own grouping. God gave us male and female, living things and non-living things. And these living and non-living things agree with this Mr. Niger D. If it's Mr. Niger D, it's a living thing. If it doesn't satisfy this Mr. Niger D, it's a non-living thing. Living things, non-living things. Mankind, in its own way, grouped things around it in this way: solid, liquid, gas, metal, non-metal. Now, life continues. The grouping continues. Now, mankind, in order to continue this grouping, all in a bid to enable him understand his environment better. What did man do? Man discovered that there's another way they can group or classify the things they see in this world, and it become a better classification. Hence, the periodic table. All this are in the bid for man to understand his environment. Now, this periodic table, what is the gateway that led to the development of this periodic table? Just as you have a dictionary, English dictionary, we have 26 letters of the alphabet. Everything you see inside this dictionary came from these letters of alphabet, starting from A, B, C, D, up to what? Z. It's a combination of these letters in different ways to get different words that make up this dictionary. In a different way, in a similar way, these numbers 1, 0, 1, 2, up to 9 is a combination of these numbers that will give you state that 100, 1,000, millions, etc. For instance, let me take two numbers, 5 and 8. 581. You can get this if you are arranging, get this like 581, 518, 815, 851, etc. So what it's trying to tell us is what? that everything in the universe is made up of what? Made up of any or combination of items called chemical elements. Or simply elements. This starts from hydrogen. Symbol H. The density number of hydrogen is 1. Up to an element called organesa. Its symbol is Og. And this identity number is 118. Everything you see on Earth is made up of from here to here, or a combination of it. Please get me right. This 118 organism keeps on increasing. You may open the textbook now, you see that they don't stop at 119 or 120. This thing keeps on increasing. But the basic one that can never increase that I have discovered is from hydrogen, H, which is 1, identity is 1, to uranium, U. This is 92. These ones have been confirmed, clear. They are the natural occurring elements. Nothing will come in between again. So this periodic table is what is the best grouping of classification which one can be able to obtain. And this periodic table is this thing you have here on the board. Look at it. This is the periodic table. You can see it. Modern periodic table of the elements. We will go into it at the right time, but this is not the time to delve deep into this because most of my subscribers will get confused. So this is the modern periodic table. The first one here is hydrogen. That's the beginning. And you can see all these are other elements. So what am I trying to say? Around you, that place you are staying now, look around. Whatever thing you see around you is either it's here, either singly or in combination of something. That thing you see around you, or whether you don't see it, can be in solid form, it can be in liquid form, it can be in gaseous form. Now let's look at this. Hydrogen, H. Identity element, identity number 1. Organism, Og. Identity is what? 118. So if you look around you, each of these things has its own identity number. If you look around you wherever you are, if you are living in a house, look at your window. Is your house made of aluminum window? Aluminum is here, it belongs here. It's also here. Aluminium, its own identity is what? Identity number is 27. Copper has its own identity. all these elements, they have their own various identities. So iron has its own identity, number 26. Oxygen has its own, 16. Uranium has its own, 92. Silver has its own, 108. And so on and so forth. What am I trying to say? Whatever thing you see on earth is made up of a single of these elements or a combination. For instance, if you look at oxygen exists in the following forms. It exists as free oxygen, which you breathe in. Oxygen also inside here, water. If you analyze this thing, water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen combined together. The same oxygen is inside here. This is alcohol. Oxygen is also inside here. The same oxygen is inside here. This is glucose. Oxygen inside here. You can see the same oxygen inside here. Oxygen as the oxygen we breathe in, free oxygen in the atmosphere. Oxygen inside water, oxygen inside alcohol, oxygen inside glucose, and so on and so forth. So, whatever thing you look around, you see, wherever you are, must belong to this chemical element, which I have indicated here. This chemical element is designed based on the way matter resemble each other. Now, the next question is this. What is the position of mathematics in all these things I have written here? Biological sciences is plants and animals. Study of plants is biology. Study of animals is zoology. Study of matter, physical sciences is divided into two, chemistry and physics. Now, what the language we use to communicate, explain this chemistry, physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, and all whatnot, are nothing but what? The language is given to us by nature. English language, French language, German language, Spanish language, and other languages. These are languages given to us by nature. And then we mix it up with a universal language, which we design to enable us to understand ourselves, which is mathematics. So the second language needed to communicate or to teach all these things and to understand the environment is mathematics. So as I'm going to explain these things now, along the line, mathematics will come in, together with the language I'm using to teach the natural language I'm using, which is English language, to teach the subjects. Now, let us look at. Now, we have laid the foundation. Now, let us look at matter. Matter. In the language of science, everything is matter. Everything is matter, whether living or non-living thing. Whether you can see it or cannot see it is matter. If it is not matter, is what? Energy. So the world is made up of two things, matter and what? Energy. So matter is a language we use in science to represent anything you can think of. Whether it is in solid form, whether it's in liquid form, whether it's in gaseous form, is matter. Whether you can see it or you cannot see it is matter. For instance, this is breeze. I'm feeling this breeze. I cannot see it, but I know that something is blowing me. This is matter. Now, matter helps us to understand the environment around us. That's how we study matter. Matter is the aspect of which the language science uses to explain two things. And what is matter? As I told when you were young, anything that has weight and occupies what? Space is matter. Another way you can explain matter: anything that has inertia, anything, no matter whatever it is, that has inertia. This is a surface place. As I try to move this thing, its resistance to move. Anything that has this quality is matter. It is already moving. Its reluctance to stop, inertia, either its reluctance to start moving, or it is already moving, its reluctance to stop moving. That is what inertia. So anything that qualifies this quality is, we define matter as anything that has weight or particles, or anything that has inertia. Now, get the difference, please. Why physics is concerned with the energy stored inside matter? We will come to this when we are talking about physics. Why is this physics is interested in the energy stored inside matter? Chemistry is concerned with what? Chemistry is concerned with what? Chemistry is concerned with what? One, what is matter? Composed of, and together with its structure. That's the concern of chemistry. Two, chemistry is also concerned with the reaction which matter undergoes. Three, the use of such reactions to form new substances in order to solve the various problems of man. When they make those reactions, they get drugs, they get agricultural chemicals, they get lotions used on our skin, and all whatnot. Again, the way matter changes when it is subjected to different conditions. Chemist is also uninterested in what? The way it is different conditions. 4, the way matter changes when it is subjected to different conditions. And finally, the changes which matter undergoes under various conditions like temperature, pressure, and volume. These are what chemistry is all about. Once more, once more, in summary, this is a maiden lecture, the first lecture of this topic. So, if you're a beginner in chemistry, it's advisable you understand this topic very, very well. This first lecture very, very well. Hence, let me just revise. We came into this world to meet a world that is already furnished. And nature has helped us to start groupings. The two groupings we have here are what? Male and female. That is natural grouping. God made it. The living things and non-living things. In the course of understanding the environment, find out that all living things satisfy this Mr. Niger D. Movement, reproduction, nutrition, irritability, growth, excretion, respiration, and death. Anything on earth that satisfies this thing is a living thing. But if it doesn't satisfy it, it's a non-living thing. Hence, that's how we have here non-living thing. Why here is living thing? You see two groupings. Now, the study of these living things is called biological sciences, or simply biology. As living things are into two. It's either plants or what? Animals. Those that study plants are called, the study of plants is called botany. What study of animals is called what? Zoology. But non-living things, if something is not a living thing, it's a non-living thing. And the study of those non-living things are what? Chemistry and what? Physics. Now, in order to understand our environment more, man started his own grouping or his own classification. He grouped things in this one into solid, liquid, gas. Grouped the same things into metals and non-metals. That was how man started his own grouping. All in a bit to do what? To study and to understand his environment. Now, as time continued, man discovered that there is a better way of grouping all the items he saw on earth. Hence, they introduced chemical elements. Introduced this to call elements. And then designed this periodic table. That's this thing I showed you here. This is the periodic table. All the things that make up elements are all here. The first one is hydrogen. It starts with hydrogen. And the last one is oxygen. Hydrogen, H. The last one, OG, oxygen. Each of these has identity number. As time goes on, this identity number, you know how you come out. This is 1. This is 118. So any other thing on earth you see belongs to this table. Either as a single element or as a combination of two or more elements combined together. So having moved from this way of grouping to this standard way of grouping now called the periodic table. Now, what is chemistry now all about? Chemistry is concerned about what? Matter. Matter, whether it's solid, whether it's liquid or gas. When I talk about liquid, your mind should go to water. When I talk about solid, your mind should go to anything like solid, like what I'm holding. When I talk about gas, your mind should go to something like this, air. So, what is matter? As I taught in the primer section, it says, matter is anything that has weight and occupies space. Anything that has weight. What I'm holding here, this thing I'm holding has weight. It occupies space. What space has it occupied? It has taken over this space. It has occupied weight, space. The another way to look at matter is anything that has inertia. Its reluctance, when you want to push it, its reluctance to move. If it's already moving, its reluctance to stop moving. That is inertia. Anything that has that quality is referred to as what? Matter. The chemistry now focuses on this matter. What is it looking for? 1. Chemistry is interested in what is matter composed of and its structure. The reaction in which matter undergoes. The use of such reactions to form new substances in order to solve the various problems of man. When they find out those new substances, some of these substances can become drugs which you take. Some become fertilizer, agricultural products. Some are chemicals we use on our skin. Some are pomade. Some are soap. About what different type of chemicals in different areas of human environment. The way matter changes when it is subjected to different conditions of temperature and pressure and all whatnot. This is what chemistry is all about. But what is physics all about? Physics is also interested in the same matter, no matter whatever it is. But what is it interested in? What is the energy that is inside that matter? So when we come to study physics, I will tell you what the energy inside matter is, why it's needed. Because the energy inside matter helps us to do work. We have transportation machines, war machines, agricultural machines, all those things need energy. Any machine needs energy. So we'll come to that when it comes to when we want to talk about physics. With that brings us to the end of this first lecture on chemistry. Thank you very much.